Hello there. Just
Hey.
lotioning the skin
Seriously?
with my
I'm gonna
Purity
restart
lotion.
this.
No, you're not. So today's topic. Oh, we're on episode 5. So we had to bring back the misses with live with Science and Games. We got
course.
so much positive feedback on how we're.
Of course it was better because I was on here. I
Apparently,
mean,
we are a funny couple that people love to hear, and they can
I don't
relate to
under-
us.
see, I don't know why they keep saying we are a funny couple. It's me. It's not you, my love. It's me. I've accepted this role as the funny one in the relationship. And you know, it is
You
what
can be
it
the
is.
funny one. I'm the good looking one. So today's topic is trainer wives.
Ooh, real life. Was it real life housewives of trainers?
Yeah, they should have a whole show called Trainer Wives. The
Boy.
real trainer wives in the bodybuilding community.
We're gonna dive right in, like I said. And the first question I got from one of my friends, I'm gonna give my view, and then you can give your view versus my side. Okay?
Sure, you can host me this time.
I'm gonna host him. It's anyway. So the first question I got was, how hard is it to be married to a personal trainer? And so this goes back to the beginning of our relationship. As soon as we were married, within the first couple of years is when he started to personal train, and that was in person. So
Might I add, she's the reason I do this.
I'm the reason he chose personal training. So again, let me continue. It was always in the beginning. Our relationship has always been married to a personal trainer. So I feel like it's been our entire marriage. He's been in personal training. In fact, it was within the first 3 years of our marriage is when he started training. So it's been hard in the beginning, but not because like trustworthy issues or like I didn't trust him or I had problem with the women. It was the insecurities I had in myself that I didn't know that I had until he started to train other women. And granted, we also grew up together. So our whole relationship has been growing up together. We've been together since we were 15, 16. So being 16 to now 33, I mean, there is a major like progression in our growth with just being, mature. And so I could say definitely in the beginning I had issues because 1, I wasn't mature. 2, I had a lot of insecurities with myself that I didn't know were there. It's always been a growing experience, but I would say in the beginning it was definitely hard because you have to be secure in yourself if your spouse is going to have this line of business. And even then, it goes across the scale with other line of business that involve the opposite sex. You have to be secure in your marriage and trust your partner fully to be open to these kind of extreme jobs.
Yeah, it goes way into more than just PT. I mean, it could be tattooing, it could be photography, it could be whatever, modeling. I mean, be secure in who you are. And some of the issues that arose also arise from her past before me. So like a lot of those things, like she said, it was some of her own personal issues that were laid on to me. But again, that's a part of maturing as a couple and as an individual and growing and have that self-confidence and self-love, is being able to accept the fact that, hey, this is what we do, this is what we love to do, this is what allows us to be home with our family and to
deal with crying
have
babies.
more children.
Yeah, so definitely. Now, were there times where we had to adjust ourselves and, speak to certain clients? Yeah, sure. I could tell you plenty of stories where I would, have a conversation with a client. And this is like 7 years ago, where I'd be like, was that appropriate to send? And this was when some check-ins were on Snapchat. Like, I'm telling you, we have come a long ways from being...
Everything's very streamlined.
Everything is very streamlined and professional versus 8 years ago when check-ins were on Snapchat and we didn't give information on how we should have the check-in. So you holding your boobs like this and barely covering your hand over your crotch is not okay with me.
And that's something that I learned in the coaching industry that needs to be set in standard in stone from the first consultations. This is how check-ins will be. Like, for example, if we have a consultation and we work together, I'm gonna let you know that Saturdays are your consultations. and your check-in pictures should be something appropriate that you're okay with me seeing, but nothing too extreme. For example, if you're a competitor, well, you're gonna need more than just shorts and a shirt, right? Because you will be competing, and we have you being judged by the people, right? So we need to see where the progress is coming from. But there's no reason to be naked, or there's no reason to have a thong on, or holding yourself like this, right? Like, those are things that we set the standard for now at the consultation. And of course, when you will even apply to work with us, you get a message from us with a picture of us saying who we are, and how we run our business. So I mean, the coaching industry has changed to be more streamlined, and it's one of those things where you learn as you go. So
I would say too that it's also helpful for the wives to be involved. And I could see this going, so say I had no part in our business at all, I had nothing to do with this realm, I could see how intimidating it could be for the wife to be around such clientele, or to be uncomfortable with their spouse having interviews with these gorgeous women, or having an issue with that. I would say the more involved you are, helps, and the more you get to know these women, because I also share a passion for helping. So we sometimes do consultations together, and I talk to the client prep too, and we talk about their struggles and stuff. So it helps that I'm more involved. And not to say that we had any trust issues, but because I know who they are personally, it has been such a better experience for us to make sure their journey with us is also great, and not having to deal with a jealous wife, which I'm totally not. So.
And it's
Y'all know I love him.
She's not jealous. She just knows I'm a highly, highly sought out male.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, highly sought out.
Honey, I know my worth too, so please.
So, it helps that she follows my clients on social media. That way they get to know each other as well, commenting, reactions, all those things, that you do to build a relationship with someone online, right? I mean, just friendly relationship.
Yes, because the issues that we had in the past were relationships were not cultivated together. They were cultivated just by you and that client. But the client relationships we have now are together. And I could say that, yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard in the beginning. But again, it was a mature thing. And I feel very grateful for the clients that we've had in the past 5 years. We've had amazing experiences with all of our personal training clients and prep clients, and all of them, and that again, that's coming together, saying that this is Amber and Chris, not just Chris. So personal training has a bad rep, especially if you're a male, to sleep with clients and all this stuff. And there's been scandals of that actually happening.
Big one last year.
But there's also, nobody talks about it, and
as
nobody
James
talks
would
about
say, keep your joint in your pants.
Yes. Nobody talks about what it's like to be married to a personal trainer, and so this is why we're doing it. So, and you
can ruin your career off 2 minutes.
Bro, your whole life. You know how much alimony you would pay? Shit, bro, I'd be living the high life right now. You know what? Okay, no, but yeah. So we've give me that. Have you ever had any issues with me, vice versa?
No, never had any issues. It's definitely something that I've enjoyed, and it took some getting used to for a couple months, because I was used to working 60 hours a week on top of client stuff, and it took me a while to be able to stay home. And now, even then, I mean, after a few days I get cabin fever, I gotta leave. And she's always saying, you gotta leave, you're trying to leave. But I mean, that's just something that I
am also very clingy individual
it's something
for my husband.
I've dealt with for the past, the past 12 years. I've been working 40 hours a week somewhere else. So it was definitely a different lifestyle change to be here. But overall, I mean, she doesn't have very many male clients, and I don't care, And even then, I mean, okay. I'm a very confident man.
You are a very confident man, and that's one of the reasons why I love you, is because you were always very sure of yourself, and coming from a background where I didn't know who I was for the longest time, you cling to the opposite of that. So yeah, I like that. But last question we got is, what advice can you give to another couple who is in this industry, whether the spouse is a personal trainer or they are doing it together? What kind of advice do you have? So Chris, you can lead this one because I led the last one.
So about 4 years ago, I attended a conference in Dallas, and it was called the ISSN Gains Tour, and they had a lot of bigger names than, give presentations on like muscle mass, hypertrophy, strength gains, all these things. And one guy who was there, I've actually met him twice, his name was Dr. Bill Campbell. And I had a follow-up question, so I sent him an email. And back then on my emails, it still is, my Instagram name's on there too, so we checked out my Instagram and he replied to my question. But he also said, I noticed you're married, you have a beautiful family, you have a beautiful wife. Make sure that make sure your queen gets all the attention, because we work in an industry where things don't work out. And a lot of big time coaches that I follow, they're divorced. Now, whether it be because of the industry we're in, I don't know, but the fact of the matter is the success rate in our industry is getting lower and lower as we go, with the growth of social media, with the growth of what's acceptable now, with the growth of, cheating, right, in general. So have that talk with your spouse. Let them know that you have the purest intentions. Let them know what's entitled. I mean, be honest. Like, hey, I'm probably going to get pictures of other women, half naked on a Saturday morning, Friday morning, whenever your check-in days are. Have that consultation. Have that
Boy,
conversation. Have that conversation with your significant other and let them know the expectations of what they'll experience, and be very open. I don't have any passwords on my phone. My wife can, if she wanted to, get into my phone and look at my Instagram, my Snapchat, my Facebook, my messages, even though she doesn't. But the fact of the matter is I have nothing to hide. So you'll have to be completely trusting with each other in this industry, because it's easy, and that goes for both sexes, males and females.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's been a lot of growth. Like I said, the beginning journey was me trying to figure out who I was, and I had came from a past relationship where cheating was normal. So I would imply that to our early relationship. So it's taught me to figure out where my insecurities stem from, and know that it's not from him. He's never ever given me a reason to think otherwise. And any issues that we ever had in the past was because from an old relationship that I was in. So learning to, as a wife, where does it stem from? Is it stemming from you subconsciously, or is it real? Do you have a real case to present, kind of thing? Don't just go in there, jump on him and go crazy while he's sleeping. Definitely can know that. And it's like you said, this industry is not made for marriages. It's not, because again, what's acceptable now was not the same years ago. You have to set the standard, pretty much. So we're going against the grain. We have always gone against the grain in a lot of things. We homeschool, we have 5 kids, we have a small business, we stay at home. Like, it's just, we go against the grain in everything. So we're gonna be that 1% that is in this industry that's married. We're gonna set the new standard that it can happen, because you can have trustworthy relationship. You have to have open communication. You can't have any secrets, and you have to be honest with each other. And like you said, 2 minutes, that's gonna ruin your life, right? It's not worth it. And
2 minutes for somebody else, not for me.
2 minutes for somebody else could ruin their whole life. So no.
And not to mention us ourselves, parents with twins have a higher divorce rate. Married couples that do natural family planning have a higher divorce rate.
Yeah, that too.
So we have a lot of odds
going against us. Yeah. But I could say that it's that foundation you have to keep relying on to be in this industry and make sure it's good. So, you have anything else you want to add?
That's it.
Okay, we'll finish this out. Daddy, leave us with a quote.
Quote of the day is, don't be an idiot. All right? A lot of times we think with our hormones, and we think with our mini-me. Control yourselves. And Yeah, have a good one.
God will not send you somebody else's husband, boy. You better
Or wife.
remember that.
Or wife.